Hey Scorpios, welcome to August 2019. The card that already popped out for you guys face down is the Nine of Swords. Okay, so thoughts are still kind of wreaking havoc, and it's really the thoughts around your responsibilities. So for a long time, I think Scorpio energy thought that more responsibilities, more duties, and more seriousness and getting serious would provide comfort, that security blanket. But what it actually has done is created a level of fear, right? It's kind of what happens when people get rich. You know, their entire lives they're working hard to get rich, and then once they're rich, they're working hard to maintain the wealth and keep up with the Joneses. So we start to manifest things into our lives, we get there, and without even stopping to appreciate it and embrace it, we're like, what's next? You know, so the duties, the responsibilities, yeah, that's great. You guys are really admired in that aspect, but it's weighing heavily, and I'm sure you can feel it all over your body. How's your back? How is your back, Scorpio? I need to know. Comment below, because if your back is hurting at all, if you even have one small issue, even a zit on your back, a mole even on your back, represents a lack of support. You got a zit, you have repressed anger when it comes to your support. You got moles popping up out of nowhere, withholding communication when it comes to the support you have. Middle, bottom, and top also represent different energies as well. So listen to your body because it's speaking to you a lot. You've gained a lot of authority as well within home and family. So you're responsible, you're committed, you're determined, you're doing well, but you're so powerless. So although you have all of this ambition and this authority, you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to empower yourself with it. So you're just kind of powerless to it. It's an interesting dichotomy, especially because people are relying on you to know what to do with that power. And that's just adding a whole new level of powerlessness. So let's see what we can do to clear this energy so that Scorpios can have a positive, empowering, and happy August 2019. Okay. This is something I think you guys are going to have to invest in for sure. Time, energy, possibly money. It's going to take a level of investment in order to clear this feeling of powerlessness. And that probably just added, you probably just popped a zit on your back after me saying that, because that is adding to the stress as well, right? Okay, so let's see what's going on for the Scorpios for August 2019. This is about your support, of course, as we were talking about. You guys were heartbroken, okay? You're heartbroken. It's time to just own it. I was just watching this show where they were saying, keep saying that sentence until you're in control of your words, right? Orange is the new black. Anyway, so keep telling yourself, you are heartbroken. You are heartbroken. You are heartbroken, okay? Scorpio, that's where you're at, 100%. This heartbreak is the obstacle and the aid to your support. So the heartbreak is needed in order for you to recognize where you feel supported, where your space is, where you feel comfortable. And this heartbreak is also a huge obstacle when it comes to figuring out where you feel that support. So take your heartbreak. You should instinctively know exactly what I'm talking about when I say heartbroken, because it's something that you've manifested, something that happened to you based on what you've created, what you thought about, what you felt about, what you spoke about even in passing or even as a joke. You created this when it comes to your support and that heartbreak there. So when you go back to that place of heartbreak and you're like, I know exactly what she's talking about, who do you feel comfortable enough in your family and friends, even your social media friends that you haven't even met before, who do you feel comfortable enough going to and expressing that heartbreak? You need to find at least one, because if you don't have at least one, that should tell you all that you need to know, right? Turn off this video right now. That should tell you all you need to know, that you need to really work on your support systems. You need to have at least one person that you can go to with this heartbreak, and that's how you'll know which people to weed out. Because the ones that you know wouldn't care, or that it wouldn't even be a question for you to go to them over heartbreak, those aren't your people. Those aren't your people. If they're only there when you're on the up and up, subconsciously, Scorpio, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So young earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, the person that you want for/from, okay? So this is important. This subconscious person You need to feel either supported by or that you can support them without any problems. Okay? And that heartbreak is blocking that. That heartbreak is the obstacle and the aid to the support you're able to give this Knight of Pentacles. You're thinking they got to make a sacrifice. You're like, maybe I'll just let go. Maybe I'll just sacrifice this and then I'll get support eventually. Because that's what we tend to do, right? Especially Scorpio energy, ruled by the 8th house of other people's resources. Maybe if I sacrifice, then they'll get the hint that they should be sacrificing for me. But what people actually end up doing is being like, wow, Scorpio's so giving. Like, I'm going to take advantage because I don't realize their boundaries and I'm going to just stomp over it, right? People don't realize that you only can go so far in your giving. And you're at that point now where it's like, I've sacrificed so much that I should be getting more support back. This is how people are viewing you. Temperance is all about patiently waiting for something, moderation. So it's almost like your family and friends, especially like your support system, the main people in your life, your tribe. It's almost like they know that you can accomplish so much more and do big, big things, but they're like, what is Scorpio waiting for? And then here you are subconsciously waiting for this Knight of Pentacles in order to feel stable enough to create something really magnificent that empowers and gives back the support that you do or do not have from your family and friends. Okay, so people are waiting for you to kind of take that next step, to make that sacrifice, but for yourself, right? Instead of sacrificing for other people, it's now time to just say, okay, I'm going to sacrifice something that I enjoy, something that, you know, I like, but it's for my own gain, not for other people's gain, right? Family and friends, there's so much security there that now is your opportunity, okay? Now is your opportunity to take that risk because your family and friends, they're stabilized. Emotionally, maybe not, but financially, material-wise, physically, they're stabilized. Now is, ooh, that rhymes. Now it's time to create some sort of change or some sort of risk when it comes to your support system, okay? Because they're good. Hope and fear is the 4 of Swords. So hope and fear is resting this month, kind of throwing in the towel, taking that break, you know, going inner. There's a hope and fear there. You want to do it, but you fear it. You fear you're going to lose your support if you do. You know, I was just reading something that was talking about the small things end up being the big things. So who you allow access to you on your day-to-day will absolutely affect you, right? So look at those family and friends who are just, you know, I did that to my husband. Stop watering the plants and see, what was it? Stop watering the plants and see which flowers die. You know, stop calling first, stop texting first, stop checking in, stop being available, and see which friends and family truly are there for you or who have just been using access to you. So the outcome, Scorpio, for your August 2019 is that you're going to keep thinking you need to make some sort of sacrifices when it comes to a young air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And what that does is makes you realize that you need to move on because this person is absolutely not one of those people that are in your support group, full support. Especially when it comes to the heartbreak, they don't fully support that energy. They're not the person that you can go to and say, hey, I'm really heartbroken. They're not them. So what that does is make you realize like, okay, maybe I need to start moving on when it comes to who I talk to about my heartbreak and kind of compartmentalize all the people in your life and be like, okay, you're just for fun. You're for work, you're for inspiration, you're for sex, you're for money, you know, and just realize like, okay, that's all I'm getting out of that person. I'm going to give them back that equal exchange of energy, but nothing more. So this air sign is the person that you can't communicate with. Find somebody else that you can communicate your heartbreak with. This air sign is not that one, okay? This is the one that maybe you can get, you know, your physical needs met from, but definitely not your mental needs met. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the cards so you know what's going on. Hope you guys have an amazing August 2019. As always, if you want a personalized reading, my details are below. And please comment, like, and subscribe so I can see you guys next month and the month after that. So I'll show you your cards and I will talk to you soon. Bye, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, this is where we're at for August 2019. It is all about your support system, whether or not you're feeling supported by your family and friends. It's a 6 energy, which is all about your responsibilities and domestic duties, feeling very powerless when it comes to your authority at home and your duties and responsibilities, feeling very powerless to that. So this heartbreak that was created in your life, that was manifested in your life as a sign from the universe, is the obstacle and the aid to your support system. At the end of the day, you are heartbroken and you need to start owning that energy and doing something with it, transmuting it, because it was brought in for a very specific reason, okay? Subconsciously, you have the Knight of Pentacles, so it's a young earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, who's affecting that support system. Whether you feel supported, whether you feel like you can support them, whether they're supporting you or the people around you are supporting them, at the end of the day, it all stems back from this Knight of Pentacles. This is where it all starts from, okay? You're thinking that you need to continue making sacrifices in order to gain back the support that you give out. Let me just self-sacrifice for everybody around me and then, eventually I'll get it back. That's not really how it works. I know that you guys rule lended resources and loans, but to loan out your sacrifice with the hope that it'll come back with interest is just completely unrealistic. Because emotionally people don't do that. You give them energy and they're gone. I learned that the hard way. They're usually gone. Thanks for the freeness. Bye bye. I don't need you anymore. Right? You right now, this is how people are viewing you, as somebody who's patiently waiting for something. There's a little bit of moderation there that people are kind of questioning, like, when is Scorpio going to just kind of blast off? It's like you've been doing your countdown for quite a while now, and they're like, all right, time to blast off. And they're anticipating it. A lot of the times we feel like we can't do the countdown and we can't blast off because of that fear of rejection. But your family and friends and the people who see you, they're actually anticipating a huge blast off. They recognize that within your energy. So if there's a fear there of not being accepted, if there's a fear of rejection, at the end of the day, Scorpio is the most powerful sign of the zodiac. You're ruled by Mars and Pluto. Pluto is all about transformation. Pluto is such a strong planet that they try to say it doesn't exist, and Pluto was like, hell no, I exist, and some. It's that mysterious kind of enigma that comes when it's really needed, when it's questioned, And then Mars is the planet of war, It's one of the most powerful planetary energies that you can be working with. So people are waiting. You're patiently waiting as well, and they're holding their breath, just waiting for you to blast off. But the first thing you need is support in lieu of this heartbreak, okay? So we have family and friends, financially secure, ready to go, perfectly fine, perfectly stabilized. There's nothing to worry about here, okay? And I'm talking about all family and friends. Even the ones who are struggling, there is nothing to worry about here. It's all good. I promise you that, okay? This is really just your month to focus on you. Hope and fear is that if you just spend this month focusing on you, you're going to lose something. That fear of missing out, right? So you have a hope to just chill and rejuvenate and to focus on your support systems and who's gaining access to you and figuring out what that means for you. But you also fear it as well, because it's going to create a lot of conflict and controversy in your life once you start to realize who's there for you and who's not, right? Especially because it's going to be speaking to your intuition. Because I'm sure that you intuitively knew, hey, I knew not to trust that girl from the get-go, but, we got really close and now she's sleeping with my husband. Things like that. You know what I mean? Your intuition is always right. The outcome, Scorpio, for your August 2019 is that you're going to keep thinking you need to make sacrifices, and you do. You need to sacrifice the communication you've been having with this young air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and just move on from that, because you don't need this person's communication. You don't need their support. Okay, this person has probably contributed to the heartbreak, so they're not the person that you're supposed to be going to when it comes to support, although it may feel like kind of intrinsic that you should go to them. At the end of the day, their head is in the clouds right now, and they're not going to be that support for you. It doesn't mean to cut them out of your life completely, but at least for now, move on from them and find somebody else that can kind of give you that support without fear of judgment. As always, Scorpio, love you guys so much. Hope you have an amazing August 2019, and I will see you next month. Bye, Scorpios.